Well, let's take the small view, first of all. The now is infinitely short, and yet it's the only thing that is. In that case, this whole world is an illusion.
Pure cosmic energy flow. In the avatar state, you are at your most powerful, but you are also at your most vulnerable.
Welcome back to another deep dive within the mind with your Valentines. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the essence that is within all things, prana.
That's all that we need, deep divers. Let's go. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby.
If somebody takes charge of their prana, whatever may be the external atmosphere, whatever influences in terms of reverberations, waves, emotions, other kinds of pressures, doesn't matter what. Psychological balance is 100% guaranteed for a person who takes charge of his prana.
Energy was something that was hard for me to manage in the beginning stages of my life because I just didn't know what it was. And when I started going to work to earn a living, that's when I realized, bro, life just hit me. I started out with such a high ambition of yo, I'm gonna do all the overtime, I'm gonna get all the money, I'm gonna clock in every time when people are not gonna clock in, I'm gonna get there to get the money. And I was just stretching and just wearing myself thin, just exerting energy without properly replenishing myself.
That's it, I'm dead.
Now I went to my doctor with this and they recommend some medication. I am not a person that goes with that route because I feel like the medication just leads to another one that leads to another one that leads to another one. I just think meds should be last resort, where your body's going through major system failure and herbal teas is not going to do anything for that, right? You need some medication. I don't want to use medication as a solution for something that can easily be fixed within my lifestyle choices. So that's when I started doing my research on consciousness. We could try to chase the cure for the symptoms all we want, but another one is going to pop up and another one is going to pop up and another one is going to pop up because we're not getting to the root cause of the situation. And I heard this saying, the way you do one thing is the way how you do everything. What if we're doing that one thing wrong? As a student of life, I travel abroad for knowledge and information, and I came across this concept of prana, which is the creative life force within all living things. Scientific research describes prana as electrical magnetic energy, photonic energy, and ocular energy. To put it simple, prana is the energy that drives voluntary action and involuntary action. Now, we as the act within the play of life can direct this energy, and this is called prana vayu. This direction of energy can only be done if there's no blockages within the system. In the yogic tradition, they use asanas, which are specific body positions to clear away any energetic blockages. If you think about it, if you're not an athlete, if you're not used to living an active lifestyle, if you have a sedentary lifestyle, then your body becomes rigid and stale.
I roasted solid. Been that way ever since.
We sleep in the same position, we sit in the same position, and we stand in the same position. Putting your body in a new position might release some tension that you might not even know you had because you got used to the stimuli of tension. After doing the body poses, the yogis would go on to doing pranayama, which is an ancient breathing technique. It's a practice that yogis use to fulfill their daily intentions. Breathing is a very interesting action because it's both voluntary and involuntary. You can choose to control your breath right now, or you can choose to forget about it and you'll continue breathing. Now, the way how we breathe on an unconscious level might not be allowing enough oxygen in our system. Just enough oxygen to live on, of course, because if not, you would have been dead. But it's not enough oxygen to fully charge your cells within your body. Doing these dedications on a daily basis forms a mind of samadhi, which is the highest truth, a truth beyond what confides us within our human identities. When we experience this part of ourselves, we dissolve these identities and are no longer labeled this or that. We just simply exist because we are existence itself. When you have an identity that's placed within the world, your soul now takes a backseat to that identity. You're overexerting your efforts to serve this identity, this image that you're upholding for the world to see, instead of focusing on the process of being. There's 5 Vayus that are the most effective to practice: Apana Vayu, Samana Vayu, Prana Vayu, Udana Vayu, and Vayana Vayu. Vayus represents the energies that allows us to face and overcome our challenges in life. When it comes to moving prana, we need to do it correctly for a higher rate of success, because our bodies are like machines. We need all the components of the machine to be aligned for the energy to flow. If there's an imbalance, it causes disharmony to the whole system, which is the body and the mind. Apana Vayu, which is also related to the root chakra, primary function of this Vayu is to eliminate and let go of things that are no longer serving your highest potential. An example of someone who needs to work on this is someone who has excessive thought patterns, someone who can't sit still, someone who's anxious and always jittery. These types of people can't stay present in the moment because their energies are in the upper chambers of their body. Apana Vayu can work to bring those energies that stuck within the upper chambers to a more calmer, less anxious state. Samana Vayu is located within the navel center and is also associated with the sacral chakra. This Vayu's primary function is to digest and process. An example of a person who would need to work on this is someone who's unable to process information, or someone who's uncertain about themselves. Samana Vayu equalizes the feeling of panic and gives you a force to move forward with so that you live within courage. Udana Vayu, located in the throat, which is also known as Vishuddha chakra, its primary function is the drive to be ourselves. This is out of balance when you have what ifs about life, getting all caught up in hypothetical scenarios of what you could have said, what you could have did, and what you could have been. Prana Vayu is occupying the upper chakras, which is the mind and the heart chakras. This is where our mental and emotional hangups are. You can tell when this is out of balance when you don't feel inspired or you don't feel like doing anything for the day. Vayana Vayu distributes and circulates all energies throughout the body to expand and grow as humans with a purpose and meaning. An example of someone who needs to work on this Vayu is someone who has irregular breathing patterns, someone who struggles to keep up with their breath. This Vayu also acts as armor to protect us against negative forces. Now that you have this information, you have to ask yourself, what are your intentions and how are you going to shape your prana in order to fulfill that? Once you've answered them, the answers will direct you to the practice you would need to do in order for you to mobilize your prana more efficiently. With daily practice of turning into the self, we can become familiar with our purest form, where we can make decisions from our highest truth rather than from the limited state of our mundane identities. The more skilled we are at shaping our prana, the more skilled we become at being teachers, healers, parents, siblings, professionals, and most importantly, human beings. I don't care what you think, as long as you're thinking. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a blessed day. Take care.